What's up, and welcome back to NyuMu, the most consistent new music podcast recorded in a college closet, covering the latest in music from every country on the globe. Today I'm going to bring up some albums that I've listened to, and I'm going to get into a spotlight for this new, interesting young artist, Joy Crookes. At least that's how, what's it called, YouTube? One of those YouTube pronunciation channels told me it's Crookes. Okay, so I'm going with Crookes, and that's what we're gonna do. We're gonna do it like that. Before we get to that, we gotta do the news drop. We got one thing on the list. That's how uneventful the year has been. When we just got one thing on the list, and that's a culmination of the entire year. One thing on the list. Lord cancels a concert in Israel, basically amidst calls to boycott Israel because they're putting up illegal I can't even talk, man. They're putting up illegal settlements and whatnot. And that's some bullshit. But then here comes the ambassador to New Zealand from Israel. So the Israel ambassador to New Zealand, and he goes, "It's regrettable that you've canceled your concert in the capital of Israel, and have disappointed all your fans in Israel. Music is a wonderful language of tolerance and friendship, which brings people together." He continued, "Your concert your concert in Israel could have spread the message that solutions come from constructive engagement that leads to compromise and cooperation. Music should music should unite and not divide. Your performance in Israel could have contributed to the spirit of hope and peace in the Middle East. Blah 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 blah." They're always talking about how we're the only democracy in Israel, and that's why we fucking set up illegal settlements and shit. So basically, fuck that guy trying to shame fucking Lord for doing the right thing. Lord, do you, girl, okay? Do you, young, sophisticated young woman, because you're intelligent. You know that this legal settlement shit is some bullshit, and you're calling it out. Thank you. Next, we're going to get into our album samplers. I give you a third of an album, and I tell you a third of what's interesting on that album, okay? We got Doko with Thank You Blue. Had some interesting feelings about this album. It's very single heavy. I mean, when I say very single heavy, I mean literally 9 out of the 15 songs on the album were released as singles or a B-side to a single. So there's that. First, Step Up Love, a song that was the first Doko song that I heard new. It's a little disco influenced, kind of like a little bouncy track. But what I'm really thinking about this whole song is are duets slash collaborations, are they dead for non hip hop artists? It's just like you don't really hear that meld outside of the rap genre. I mean, I feel like duets used to be really big back in the time of, Mariah Carey, and I think Boyz II Men had a song, and that was like the biggest single of all time. I think it still is the biggest single of all time in terms of like weeks on the Billboard Hot 100 or whatever. It's just like, is that time dead for people who aren't making hip hop music? Not to say that Doko, man, I can't even pronounce people's names properly. But not to say that, she doesn't rap, but just to say when she's not rapping and she does a collaboration duet thing, is that dead now? It doesn't really matter if the mainstream fucks with it per se, but I just want to know, like, is this a dying breed? Next we got Daisuke, another song off of Thank You Blue. Daoko. I'm gonna say it like that, Daoko. Off of Thank You Blue. And it's strange. At first I thought, this is kind of like a Death Grip song. He's got some weird instrumentation, like random screams, pretty aggressive vocal delivery. And then I go, nah, this is kind of a little, it reminds me of dubstep, but it's like if like the experimental side of dubstep. That's not just we're gonna do 32 drops in 5 seconds. There's no real hook verse structure. Everything just feels like a hook or a pre-chorus until there's like a of actual verse, and it's towards the end, and she raps and she's bars. I don't know what she's saying, but bars, bars of the week, even though we already had bars of the week, basically. But I mean, fuck, just hit it up. What I really want to know is, again, more mainstream questions. Can the mainstream even handle this much experimentation? Do normal casual listeners want to hear Doko like fucking giving us bars that we can't understand and screaming with samples? Okay, I do, but I don't feel like I'm a mainstream casual listener. I mean, I feel like the first time you listen to a song, you have to be, because you don't know anything about an artist. But does that turn you off, or you're just like, I don't want to listen to this person just doing weird shit? I don't know. Next we got Gry, which is like cry, but with a G. I know that's how you pronounce it, because I actually know that's how you pronounce it. It's in the lyrics. Come on. It has a kind of bounce that reminds me of reggae music. Kind of cadence with the words too. And the samples. What I want to know about this song, because I want to know a lot of things today. Do the samples of what seems to be like social media, like Instagram videos, does that add to ambiance? Do you feel like, you know, it's doing something for the song to hear a sample of what sounds like a drill? And trust me, I'm your guy for drill samples. Stepping Up by MIA is my ringtone, so I'm all about the drill samples. But what kind of ambiance does that add to a more slow moving track? I want to know these more out there samples. Like what place do we feel like they're gonna have in the future? Where do they have? What place do they have now? We got Yume mi te tano atashi. That was really butchered pronunciation of Japanese, but I know that at least I got the fucking pronunciation kind of right. Has a piano ballad feel towards the beginning, and I'm not, well, subjectively speaking, I'm not a fan of piano ballads unless they're done right, and then I'm the biggest fan. And I felt like I was gonna get like a really beautiful sad piano ballad, and it turned into a grand affair, which I also liked, but I wasn't expecting it. One of the interesting things I thought about this when I first listened to Pink Floyd's The Wall. This whole stereo effect thing, which was more, I guess, prevalent in the days of like The Wall and stuff like that, when like this shit was kind of new, kind of. But this whole thing, like, well, I'm going to talk in your left ear, and then I'm going to talk in your right ear, and blah, 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 blah. I'm going to switch, like, the stereo. I'm just going to left, right, effect in your ears. Does that add something? Is that a legitimate type of expressing a certain artistic idea? Is there an artistic idea that we associate with this whole stereo swap? Like, what do you connect stereo swapping to in your mind is what I'm trying to ask. And lastly, off of this Thank You Blue album, we have One Room Seaside Step. It's kind of a surf rocky kind of, I mean, not surf rocky like Mac DeMarco, surf rocky like it's kind of like a little bouncy, not necessarily like, like reggae or something, but I don't know why I made the connection of surf rock and reggae, but I kind of do. It's not that kind of vibe. It's a different kind of vibe. And I just want to know what does the album structure look like today? I mean, because this is clearly a single-driven artist, 9 singles off of an album. It's pretty amazing. But then you have to like, for example, with this song, it's like a concluding track. It's a long last song. Are artists pressured to feel like, okay, this is the last song, it has to fit this kind of mold because it's a conclusion to like a statement, that whatever statement this album is making, whether abstract or concrete or whatever. Have albums just put us in the mindset of, I need to be told a story, or I need a certain sound? Like, I feel like we're just moving away from that, and everything is just going to eventually become a compilation, it seems like, in a way. Next, we got Deja with Aphrodisia, which is such a clever name. Love that name. Um, First, Ordinary Day, feel good track. Love the bounce of this song. You know, um, I just feel like DJ is one of those artists or people, artists and people, who's kind of obsessed, well, not obsessed, very clear in making a point that originality is very important to her. You know, she's talking about how like every day you gotta live to the fullest. No day is an ordinary day. Like every day, she says, is no ordinary day. Very concurrent theme in her music. You look at Yeah Yeah, she's tired of like the typical men that are, feeding her the same bullshit. And then next you got Something New, a song that I'm talking about right now. I just gotta type in new because I forgot to type new in my notes. But Something New, it's like a danceable kind of song, a little slower than maybe like Yeah Yeah, or maybe like the same tempo kind of feel to it, same pace. But again, she's interested in this idea of diversity and originality, and not falling into the same rut as she wants something new. Okay, she says you got that Porsche, you got that Bentley, it don't mean much. Okay, want that new thing. You want something with some flair. You want something that's not just like, hey, I picked up these roses from the grocery store. You're trying to fuck. Like, no, we don't need that anymore. Okay, we need you to step your game up and be your own person. Next, we got NyuMu with his album Long Poem. Okay, first song I want to talk about, indie, guitar driven kind of ballad. I don't know what that word means. I just use that word all the time. Ballad. Singer songwriter kind of vibe. And I can't get past the fact that the song is called indie. But Moon Moon is on a label, so maybe indie is like, maybe it's like a metaphor. It's a metaphor, or maybe like indie in a different way, you know. After that, we got Museum, another song that's a duet. Well, the first song wasn't a duet. It was that I was talking about, Step Up Love. It's a collaboration. But this Moon Moon song is an actual duet with jazz influences in terms of both singing style and instrumentation. And the instrumentation is pretty spot on, pretty smart. Instrumentation works well with both voices in some respects. And I just want to know, will instrumental music make a comeback? I feel like in the 60s and the 40s, 50s, you would literally have these tracks, jazz, orchestral, whatever. Not ragtime, because ragtime was already dead by then. That literally would go number one on the Hot 100 or the pop charts or whatever was big back then. And they would have no words, and everybody would know the main melody of the song, and it is just playing on the radio like nothing, like almost like what was that one song, Harlem Shake, kind of like Harlem Shake, but like nobody's saying do the Harlem Shake. It's just the bass drop or whatever. I just want to know will that come back, because I'm looking forward to a world of instrumental music. Maybe now that people, it seems like, have more to or something more to say, we won't see that return to like an instrumental side of music, but it would be nice. And then we're gonna close our album samplers with Tree, a piano ballad. And I've already given my little piece about piano ballad, but I really want to talk about Moon Moon's singing style, because I feel like when you talk about piano ballads, it's usually, just you and the piano, and you got to focus on the voice. I feel like that's, the operation of a piano ballad, to focus on the singer's voice more than you might have previously. And his voice is very R&B kind of style to me. And with the whole like relationship that I've expressed with piano ballads, I just want to know, what are their place in modern music? I know that Beyonce had like Sandcastles on her last album, and clearly like Adele does it all the time, and it's just beautiful. All I Ask is wow, that was my jam this year, because I kind of got onto 25 kind of late. So whatever. I just want to know, with piano ballads seemingly peaking in the 2000s with songs like "A Thousand Miles" by Vanessa Carlton. Is that the name of that song? Yeah. I'm just gonna say it. "A Thousand Miles." Yeah. What are their place now? You know, in the 2000s slash the noughties, which is a terminology that people use for the 2000s that literally only me and my roommate fucking use because I told her it and then she uses it now. But whatever, the noughties, the 2000s, with them peaking in the 2000s, like where are we moving with piano ballads? Because there's two types of piano ballads, right? Yeah, there's the one that does something interesting with the piano and therefore the song is interesting, and there's the one that does something interesting with the voice and therefore the song is interesting. But it's rarely that a song does both interesting, which I feel like that the song that I couldn't pronounce earlier, the one that ends in Natashi by Daoko, I feel like that song was about to do something like that, both interesting piano and interesting vocal delivery. But the problem is that song turned out to be more than just a piano ballad. So there's that. But we're gonna transition into our artist spotlight because I have, you know, some thoughts about this Joy Crookes person. That sounded kind of like I'm about to come at you, like I'm about to be, like this is an interrogation, Joy. Okay, get ready. So my introduction to Joy was, I was surfing through the internet looking for new music, as I do, all I do, really. I don't even sleep, don't even eat, don't even shower, don't even shower. I'm just a person on the edge. Nah, but first introduction was Colors. I feel like that's gonna be the story for most people now that she's come out with this Colors. So for those of you who don't know, Colors is a German YouTube channel, and they have artists come in and sing their songs kind of acoustically, and for a lot of artists they're being put on onto a larger audience, I guess I could say. And the channel's starting to gain traction, and this was a really big move for her because previous to this, she had some like success with her songs. She's been making quality music for maybe 2 years, 3 years, 4 years now. Maybe I don't know. that seems like about decently right, kind of right. But this was obviously a big move for her. I want to say when I first turned on the video, I go, "Damn, that's a cool vest." It's like this vest. It looks like a bulletproof vest, but then you cut out a front part of the bulletproof vest and you say, "Nah, I just want the straps and I just want the back, and this is now a reverse bulletproof vest." And the second thing I'm thinking is, wow, this is a nice voice. The guitar player is fucking killing it, and we're doing what it do. But then as I started to look into, Joy, and I went through YouTube looking for, because I instantly go, wow, this is my first, artist spotlight. This is the person. This is the one. This is the one I'm going to have to talk about. Her song that she's singing, Mother May I Sleep with Danger. I go to myself, what is this danger? And I've been painstakingly trying to figure it out. I have an idea. I probably will never know. I know that Joy won't tell me because I didn't ask her on Twitter, but one thing I did ask her on Twitter is what happened to Elephant and Castle. I will get into that. What happened to that song? Great song. Where the fuck is it? I want to know. I asked her, she just liked my tweet, and I was just like, fuck, man. I was kind of hoping she would actually say, I was kind of hoping she would say, yeah, like, it's coming. I got another version. I got 3 versions, whatever. Or 2, what did Frank Ocean say? I got 2 versions, I was hoping for some shit like that. Didn't get it. But I want to know what this danger is. And also I want to know, is this Colors thing actually filmed in Germany? Because Father went and did Colors, and I'm not saying Father, an Atlanta rapper, cannot go to Germany to film shit. I'm not saying that. I'm just saying, like, how the fuck are they finding these people? Truly, honestly. But the first thing I gotta talk about with this introduction to this question, what is danger, is the importance of lyrics. The and the artistic double take that Joy has us make when we listen to her music. First, Power, okay? This song, very emotionally impactful song, okay? Could have cried if I was in the right mood, but I feel like I've been feeling pretty good recently, okay? And nothing's gonna take me to a bad place right now. But I will say, the attention to detail in this song, quite striking. First, we got this. I gotta relate this to a music video. I just have to. We got these lyrics about, you call us bitches, you call us hoes, la 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 da. And last week, you already know I talked about how I'm not with the bitches and the hoes music. Okay, I don't even like using the word, but I can't just not reference the word. I feel like you sound stupid when you go the B word, the H word. Like which B word, which H word? I'm sure there are plenty. But I feel like her music is so attentive that it's not ever just about one thing. And also that's something she said, but I didn't quite get how much so until I listened to Power and I watched the music video and something about the lyrics keyed me in from the music video. There's this shot at 0 minutes and 46 seconds of the music video of her and two women that I can assume might be her mother and her grandmother just because of how close she is to these women. If not, damn, Joy, you're a great actor. I really thought that was your mother and your grandmother if it's not. But I realized that her braids, and this might seem really minor, but her braids are braided to these other two women's braids. And I said, oh, this song is just not like about, men need to fucking, you know, be taken down a peg because their power issues and power struggles and like fucking male chauvinism is out of whack. I meant privilege. This is also a female empowerment slash female unity track. I which might seem like duh, but like what evidence, That whole like braiding your hair to somebody else's hair, that's not just some like normal throwaway shit, okay? I'm not even sure. I'm not saying that I'm just like a super keen person or something, but I'm not sure how many people pick that up, okay? I feel like it's very, very important to this idea of danger because Power is the song after Mother May I Sleep with Danger in terms of her EP. She put out an EP this June or July. I'm pretty sure June. Or I'm pretty sure July. Doesn't actually matter. And Power is the song right after this Mother May I Sleep with Danger track. And that is important because I'm sitting here like, okay, so maybe the danger is like the danger of like a male dominated society, but I'm telling myself no. I think I know what the danger is. And it has something to do with this next song, Elephant and Castle. Because, this song kind of haunted me. I'm looking, and I find out that she has this song that was, deleted off of her YouTube called Elephant and Castle. And I go to myself, okay, I'm going to find this. I'm going to use my internet super sleuth abilities. And I found like maybe a 30-second clip of it. But then I found a live performance, which, wasn't hard. Finding the 30-second clip of the version that was deleted was the actual hard thing to do. But finding that little live version that's in the playlist, actually really easy. And I'm listening to it, and she's like, she's shouting out her hood, so to speak. And she's talking about, how people have a misconception about the area. And, maybe she's a little tired of the bullshit. And she's very confident artist, very personal artist. And we really get a chance to observe her songwriting chops. Now, my thing is maybe the danger is just leaving, the nest, leaving the home in general. She seems to be somebody who's, really, a part of her community, really functioning member of her family. And I'm saying maybe this danger is actually leaving the nest. But that comes in two parts here. Leaving the nest and becoming a super mega famous, throwing hundreds, big baller musician, which I'm not sure that's necessarily even in her personality. I don't know her. whatever. But I feel like part of, that discussion about danger comes from a sense of cautiousness within herself. So I'm not sure that she would be like, I'm about to, throw bottles. Nobody throws bottles. What? Chris Brown throws bottles. What am I saying? I'm not pop bottles. I'm not sure she's the kind of pop bottles kind of person, because you have a song like Bad Feeling, where it's, I mean, one really big thing that's a theme in Joy's music is the sense of ambition, not cutting her ambition in power, and being the one on top in terms of not being played. So this sense of cautiousness, I think, would keep her from danger from the most part. Maybe the danger is being a successful. Maybe the danger is just being in that limelight. Was what I'm trying to say. I remember listening to Kevin Abstract. This is a side note. I remember listening to Kevin Abstract on Zane Lowe when Brockhampton went up to Zane Lowe, and Kevin goes, or Zane goes, "Are you just just scared of success?" Which, in my eyes, they've released 3 of the greatest albums this year. Success, they've already achieved it. How can you be like scared of something that you already are, something you've already achieved? And he goes, yeah, like, I'm just terrified of that, like, concept. And maybe it's in the same way for Joy. Not so much like a danger of being, of actually being the person who's like rich and successful. Maybe it's the idea of being rich and successful. Because you got a song, like I said, I'm trying to even tie this together. I'm scatterbrained, so I just be all over the place with my points. But the song "Bad Feeling" is it's talking about having a bad feeling about a person, but also knowing that you're probably gonna fall for them anyways, because you know yourself. And maybe that's how it is with this danger that Joy is edging herself towards. Maybe it's just like, I know that I'm kind of person to just like want to grab it, but maybe I should ask my mother's permission, because I know that like I could easily just fuck this up. Kind of. I don't know. And then you have this, like, again, with this idea of ambition, you got a song like "Don't Let Me Down," which to me is like "Bad Feeling Part 2," or maybe like "Bad Feeling" is the part 2 and "Don't Let Me Down" is the part 1, or maybe these are all just parts of the same like mechanism. But clearly there's a sense of like ambition and like not fucking up, or maybe the issue is the fuck up has already happened. You just don't want it to happen again. But I don't think that's the thing. I think the thing is just not fucking up, but knowing that you're probably gonna have some bumps along the road anyways. And that's this reason I just had to talk about Joy Crookes, because I'm just like, this is a really interesting kind of persona being manifested, and I'd like to see more of it. And I wish Joy the best, and I wish you the best. And that's truly, wow, this was my quickest episode. That is truly the end of our episode today. I just want to say I love you, I appreciate you, and live from the closet, I'm out.